Welcome back, guys, and today we are going to be cooking what I call cook-up saltfish and fried green plantains. All right, let's get to it. Now, I mean, this is the holiday season and it takes a little time to cook saltfish and green plantains, but being the holiday season, Christmas morning, you're gonna have some time. So here it is. This is something you could do for Christmas morning. All right, some fried green plantains and cook-up saltfish. Let's get to it, guys. So here in the pot, I've put half of the package of saltfish in the water to boil. This is the second boil, actually. And this is bacalao, pollock, and it was about 1 pound. The package was a 2-pound package, and I cut it down the middle, a half of it. So this is what's happening here. It's boiling, and this is the second time, because let me tell you, these things get salt, man. Ain't nobody trying to get high blood pressure, but you have to boil it, man. Even though it looks small, it starts to shrink, but you see how much water is in there. Way more water to cover it, to get out the salt. And when it starts to get soft like this, what I like to do is break it. That way more of the salt comes out. Right, the smaller, increase the surface area, guys, and osmosis moves faster, right? More salt will come out of the saltfish into the water, and that's what we want. Okay, so it's time to tend to the plantains. In the pot, I have canola oil, and I've filled it in the pot to at least about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch high, so that it will be able to fry my plantains. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is, boy, I remember these days. You did it for green plantain, you did it for green bananas, right? You have to do it for green plantain as well. You put a little bit of the oil on your hands to keep off the stain. And then we're going to get to peeling the green plantains. Now, funny thing, I've heard people call these plantains, like mountains and stuff, but we call it green plantain. This I call fried green plantains, but in the Latino community, they call it tostados. And there was a time when even Costco would have them already peeled for you and cut. I never see it myself, but people told me that in the Costco's, they had them peeled and cut already for you. So after you've peeled the green plantain like this, then what I do is split it right down the middle, and then split it right down the middle lengthwise, right? And remember, now we're letting turn on the fire so that it can the oil can start heating up. Okay, and we do that, peel them, cut it in half, start lengthwise and then cut it in another half. Now that we have them all peeled and the pot semi-hot, now the good thing about it is, because we're not looking for them to get brown the first time, the pot, I can just go ahead and load them up, even if the pot's not hot. Best if it's hot, but this is going to be a slow fry the first time around. Okay, well, I think that is a little bit too cold. Let it heat up a little bit more, okay? All right. In the meantime, guys, we're chopping the seasoning for the saltfish. And I have 1 plummy tomato. I'm using, I had some really big sweet peppers, so I'm using like a quarter of the big one and about a half of this one. And I have some green onions. We call them scallion. It's also called a scallion, but depending on where you're from, it's called a different thing. Okay? And I have half of the regular white onion. Now, if you have access to like purple onions, that could be fancy as well, and you put it up. But this is what's going in the saltfish. And I'm going to they've already been washed. I'm going to chop them up, get them ready for the saltfish pot. All right? So I've loaded up the plantains in the pot, and we're going to keep flipping them over because we do not want them to get very brown. This is just the first cook, right? This is just the first cook. Here's this. Okay guys, so have your salt container ready, okay? So this is, I'm repurposing this container. I buy the sea salt at the health food store, and then they sell it in the bag by pound, in a plastic bag, and then I repurpose this container and put it in. So I'm using sea salt. Have your sea salt ready, set it to find the smallest holes to get it, because we're going to sprinkle. So this is how we start now guys, this is it. You're going to take out one of these that has gotten a little brown. Alright? You put it on your dish towel. And then you take it and you're going to press on it. Alright guys? You mash it, you mash it. There you go. And it can lift off like that. Because we gave it the first brown over there, and then you sprinkle a little salt. You don't have to do salt. You really don't. I do a little bit of salt because I like that kind of chips taste when it's done. So, and then this goes back in the pot. And now that is ready to go. And you go through and you do that for each of them. Press it out. And guys, I've doubled up this. Not even double. I've folded this dishcloth in like 4 parts. I've folded the dishcloth in like 4 parts so that I don't want to get burnt, okay? And I don't want anybody to get burnt. So make sure you double up on that. Even fold it in quarters to make sure that that heat isn't coming out on you, okay? And then you put it back in the pot. You keep tending to the other ones. Turn them. This one I think, see how this one getting away from me? Man, I saw this joke one time on YouTube where they said you're frying plantain and everything alright until you get to the last ones. You turn where your head and it just burn. We're not trying to burn up the plantains today, okay? Alright. And I do that. And I do that. And guys, have the people ready to eat, okay? This is probably not the best order to do it in. You should have your saltfish ready already. And what they would do is come and share out their saltfish out the pot or out whatever your container that you have put it in, and they can grab a plantain to go. These plantains will not stay crispy for long, right? You don't want to, it's not something you make for breakfast, and I mean, maybe you could. But I like them so crispy that I don't like when they get cold. That. You see now they're getting, now you wait for them to be crispy. Guys, they're getting brown. Yeah, they're getting dark. They're cooking. And this time the fire is on high, okay? When we started the first fry, they're on low. It's on low because you're not looking for it. It's kind of like a steam you want at that point. Now it's on high because we're trying to get the color of the plantain. Oh, this one coming. Just keep turning them, guys. Okay, guys, I want to bring you in a little bit closer on the pot. So these are ready to go. See that? This one is ready to go. This one is ready to go. Crispy. I can hear it. I can feel it. These are ready to get out of the pot. Just to drain some of the oil. Hear it, can you? repeat, peel, fry, press, fry, repeat until you have enough to feed your family. Okay guys, so the plantains are finished, and right now what I have draining here is a saltfish through the colander. I took it out the pot that it was boiling in, ran cold water on it, and then just let it drain out here, poured it out. It's ready. What I have here is the seasonings all cut up and ready to go. Guys, guess what I forgot to tell you to put in there? Garlic. So get a couple of cloves of garlic and chop it up to go in your seasoning. Right now we're going to put the fire on, and what I'm going to do, we're going to use coconut oil. And guys, of all the coconut oils out there, unless you're getting the one straight from yard, the Costco coconut oil smells so good and the price is so good. And I mean, most of the country has Costco, I think, or at least within an hour's drive. I have to drive an hour to get to a Costco. But man, when I make that trip, I'm not coming home without coconut oil. Okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to put about a tablespoonful of coconut oil in the pot. Then we're going to add our seasoning and we're going to cook up our saltfish. Yay! And you know it's good coconut oil, you know, it sleeps, guys. And we just need just enough so that when it melts, the pot bottom is ready. Okay? Maybe I should have used my longer wooden spatula. I'm not trying to get burned here, but beauty. Sometimes in the and one of these days I'm going to walk you through my little backyard garden where I grow some of these things, right? I do them all in pots though. So like right now it's winter and I've taken in the pepper pots. I was able to get a scotch bonnet off of it, okay? And guys, some people cook their veggies a lot. I don't like to cook the veggies a lot. I just want them to blanch in the oil. Just to get the flavor out. Oh God, that coconut oil with the garlic. Oh, I wish you could smell it too. And once you see them start quailing a bit, just a bit, we can empty our saltfish in there. And yes guys, what was 1 pound of saltfish? Look what it come down to. Seriously. But it's cooked, you see how I can just mash it? Now from here, it's up to you. I usually put a little bit of water because I want a little bit of gravy to go with it, especially if you're going to have it with like fried dumplings or something. Today we're having it with green plantains, so we don't need gravy, really. We're just going to scoop up some of this on your plantain, and your plantain serve like a bread, and you just eat it, right? So just let that seasoning get up in the saltfish. And remember guys, if you're using non-stick pots, wooden or plastic utensils, especially when you have to be pressing and cutting, I don't want anybody spoiling their pots because of me. Okay. And sometimes I just like to sprinkle just a little bit of black pepper on here. And if you want, when I was a child, sometimes this black pepper gives such trouble. When I was a child, my mommy used to put ketchup in there. I don't know if it's But I remember Cook-up Saltfish with ketchup sauce in it. And it tastes good to me. It's a childhood memory. Some people say now they don't use ketchup in anything, but yep. My kettle always has water that's boiled, ready to cook. I'm putting just a little bit of water. Black pepper, man. Black pepper. You want to sneeze? Just use some black pepper. You want to sneeze? Just sprinkle some black pepper and you're sneezing down the place. Hey. So guys, you just let that cook down for a little bit. I would say I put in some ketchup. Okay, it's just my quirk. It does something for me. I remember my mom when I put a little ketchup in my saltfish sauce. Okay, so now you just leave it there for 2 minutes or so just to cook in that sauce, and you'll be ready to go. All right. See you in a bit, guys. There it is. A very nice suggestion for Christmas morning breakfast, or any morning for that matter. Here, it's a nice glass of sorrel, ginger sorrel. And we have the plantains. And here, guys, you just break it. Whew. And we have the Cook-up Saltfish here. Guys, just spoon it out, ready to go. Nice and peppery. All right, so let me know. I hope you enjoy that. Having some fried green plantains and saltfish. Take care. Hit that subscribe button, okay? And let's journey through this. Keep our culture alive. Bye-bye. Perfect bite. Mmm. Mmm. I don't even want to call the kids and tell them it's ready. I'm doing my plate first. I promise I'm not a bad mama. But if I call them, they're gonna beat me to it. Just this moment of making it and enjoying myself. All right, guys?